Welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. Alright, let's just show you where we are. We are amongst our circuit building. I have probably filled in, I've put some radars in if I didn't do that in the last episode, and also filled in some of the beacons because we're making beacons at a reasonable rate in our little starter base. Obviously I haven't filled in down here, but what we are working with at the moment is we've extended all the way over here to where we can start supplying rocket fuel to these trains in this sort of complex, and that's what I want to do. So I have run some power down to well, that not going to go the whole way, is it? That might work. Just running power to these robo ports. So basically the idea is this guy can go to refuel, I think I called it, refuel red-green, first of all. We'll just say circuit condition for now, that won't be the final condition, but I just want to see where he ends up basically. Okay, so what I want to do is, well, I want to see how far, I want to see how, oh, that's connected, that is bad. We definitely don't want that to be connected, so I'm going to get rid of that one, and that one. That's better. Hopefully I still have some boxes, I do. So what I want to do is give these guys the ability to unload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it is basically just the back ones that I wanted, and my bots have kind of stolen pretty much everything else that I had. 41 logistic bots is probably enough for this whole network. I wanted to use stack inserters for this unload function though. And unfortunately I'm out of them now. But the idea is that they'll unload, and I'll actually change the condition to a certain amount of inactivity. And then they'll fly stuff over to, well, we're mainly interested in the first two, obviously. Our bots are very interested in putting these railway lines down, but I'm mainly interested in getting action over here via request to chests as far as possible. And I guess we can just do the same thing on this one. Belt to about there. It's just using blues. I guess we can just use blues because rarely you find that the amount of fuel that these trains use is negligible, especially when it's the high octane rocket fuel, or even better, the nuclear fuel. And I'm now out of the blues as well, thanks bots. So if we give all of these, oh, I need it up there as well, and I need to copy this over to here. In fact, it needs to be across all of these, so we will duplicate that across, because this will be the fueling for copper, iron, plastic, and the circuits. And it doesn't really matter if, I mean, we're balancing where we provide the trains, so it doesn't really matter if sorry, we provide the fuel, so it doesn't really matter if we draw it unevenly, because down here there's only really well, at the moment it's not what it will ultimately be, but at the moment there's sort of just the blue circuit train. It will ultimately be the rocket control units that comes out of here, but we have the processing units coming out at the moment to feed our module build, and I can't wait for that to happen. So anyway, have we got all of our robots back? I think so. Let's get out of here. We obviously need some more pathways. I am contemplating getting another mod in to help us build this, because just using vanilla tools, I mean just a movement access mod, maybe like the aircraft mod, to help me get around, because running around, where is my train? Is it over here? No. Is it way back here? Yes, it is. Alright, we'll send it to Iron, and we'll go and meet it. Relying on that train to get us to where we need to go, and to pick up stuff just using our own inventory, is a little bit awkward. And building this way, where we have lots of independent little networks, makes using something like a supply train very difficult as well. So I might just have to do that. It'll give us something else to research in the main base as well, because the aircraft mod has various researches. So yeah, that could well be next on the list, rather than putting my supply train in, which won't be as effective in this sort of map. How far away is that train? It's almost here. Good. So we are after, we don't need a whole lot of rail at the moment. The bots are just going to be silly with that. We're after a bunch of these. And blue ones as well. I might just get a few more requester chests, can bring that up to a couple of hundred. And supply chests, I don't know how many of those I need, but maybe 100 of them. And I guess we better get some substations and some of these poles as well. Maybe substations, get it up to 100, and we can auto trash stone. I don't think we're going to need it. Probably wood as well at this point. Yes, alright, let's get that and head back to main base. While we're travelling, I'll show you how solar's getting on. I'm sure you'd like to see, since I haven't had to touch this at all. That there is all been done automatically for me. The train goes back and forth automatically. And the thing that actually is really good is not just is it laying it down, but because it lays it down one section at a time, the construction manager never gets particularly severely tapped. So it's a lot nicer. We must be putting a piece in right now. It's a lot nicer on our UPS, not that we have to worry about that too much at the moment, but we don't get a huge spike. No, maybe not. Maybe he didn't do anything. So this one has to have 6 lots of A's before it will start doing anything, and obviously all the bots are home, but we don't have enough solar panels to bother, so controlling it like that works rather well. In terms of how many we have, we're almost up to 100k. 100k is roughly 6 gigawatts, I think. Although, to be fair, you're really only getting, if you had it in nuclear, 6 gigawatts of solar is about 4, I want to say, something like that. Effective gigawatts due to the day-night cycle. Anyway, we're home now. Have we got our things? Yep, it looks like we have the things that we requested. Actually, I will also request these guys, because we keep needing them. Maybe 30 will do. I think I've actually had enough of the um, logistic robots. We don't need, as I said, we don't need that many of them in truth. Oh, I did actually want more belt probably. We've got a bit. I guess we'll see how it goes now that we're on our way. So yeah, the aircraft mod, all that really does is give us a large supply aircraft. Some small researches to do that we should be able to just crunch through, although it will impact everything else we're doing. But it will help spread the goodness, if you like, while we try to get this up and running. As you can see, this is quite the trip, quite the round trip to get down here to sort these things out. So more trains is probably what we need actually. So yeah, we need a bluey here. We need power. I think I would like to, yeah, do something like this. That should cover all of the power requirement. And these guys now need, oh, I need another one of these. They now need a request. I guess these ones can request, say, I mean, this is going to waste quite a lot of rocket fuel as it lines up along this little strip, but doesn't matter. You request 50, and so do you. These other ones can get away with requesting just, say, 10. Let's take a quick blueprint of that, so that we can put it here and edit it to take the rail out, because the rail does nothing good for us except make it impossible to put it exactly where we want it. I didn't factor that in very well, did I? Huh. Let's do that first of all. Where's my dude over there? Okay. Can I move this one? Let's just move it completely off for the moment and do that, and then we will replace him. And because he's now there, this one is going to need to be damn, still doesn't quite work. I should be able to move this guy so that it works. There we go. So, I should be able to copy this collection. I'll keep that just for the moment, just in case it's useful. yes, you can certainly see how much I'm looking forward to the new copy function. Again, let's get rid of rail. I'm not going to need beacons. So we can echo this across here. Like so. And of course we run out of belt before we finish it, because we just had to. Alright, but before we worry about that part of it, and we don't need to worry about setting these up just yet, although we will, we'll come over here. Now, I don't quite know what I'm doing with all of these just yet, but we'll do something. We'll come over here and we will put some stack inserters along here. And we will power them up. Like so. And we will make sure that these guys are within our range, but not that one's range. Which means it will probably have to go something like here, just to be sure. So, that should have... the bots are moving, so they should be doing their stuff, and we should have some train refueling happening. What's that done to UPS? Who would know? The initial stage of this... Oh, this needs power, otherwise it's not going to go any further than here. So let us give that power. There we go. What's going on up here? Huh. They haven't been delivered to yet, but presumably there'll be some more bots on the way very shortly to fix that up. Here we go. A little army of bots. They're also travelling up here. Hopefully some are destined for here. So that's our refueling mechanism. I guess we could probably... not that one. If I can find it again, we can probably apply it universally. That one, no. No. That one. Refuel. Oops. Fuel. Refuel RG. It'll be a little bit easier to work out what's going on. Let's use refuel RG. there. Ooh, that one's not quite in the right spot. There. And there. What are we out of? We're out of blue inserters already. And belt, okay. Now, down here, we need to do something similar, except that we only actually need to refuel this one. So it's kind of one of these, but only even half of it. Oh, we still have some of these, that's good. It's not telling me exactly where the range of this extends to. Standing on it, okay. So it's there. Which means that should go. This one was working a little bit differently because it was shorter. Alright, well that's fine. We can do that. We can then zoom in, get rid of all of these that mean nothing. Yes, we can edit this one. Whoops, we are going to need that one. To be like that. And power down to there, of course. Let's just use one of these then. Okay, so we need more resources. This is why, you know, let's get an aircraft mod or something. But clearly we're going to have an uneven draw on the train. That's kind of okay, I guess. Let's just go up to where the train is, change this a little bit to add refuel. BS for circuit condition, and we'll go to that one. This one won't be until circuit is less than 0, but it will be until inactivity of, say, 30 seconds. Now, this time round, I basically want to grab all of these other ones. Looks like we could do with some more stations as well when we next return, so let's do that. Oh, it's not going to work unless we have some rail, I guess. Let them build out some of it, why not? And so, That's no good. It's no good to the extent that I'm going to get rid of those ones. That actually comes significantly further down, doesn't it? Okay, we have to be down at that level. They've stolen my... they've stolen these guys. Alright, we'll have to get some more stuff. Once these silly bots have returned to me. Let's go. We need belt. Try that for starters. Some of these bots aren't moving quite as efficiently as I'd like, but never mind. So yes, the long trip back. Maybe between episodes I will in fact download the aircraft mod. And we can start researching and getting that up and running. Next episode, there's things to build to get it fully operational as well, but I don't currently have it on, so we're having to manage... Whoops, that's not where we want. We're managing without it at the moment, but only just. There we go. So back to main base, pick up some more stuff. Have a quick look at our... has this moved? I don't think it has since we started the episode. No, we're still on 97,000. How are we going on the fill up? Yeah, it's still waiting on panels, which I mean, green circuits is constantly an issue. How are we going here? Oh, we're auto trashing these guys. Let's not do that. Oh, that's at 90. Why are we at 90 instead of 100? There we go. Alright, back to oil. No, iron. We will have to go back to oil because obviously we still haven't done the sulfuric acid, but my plan for that is really, I think I'll just grab some of the iron off the end of here for now, hook into this track somewhere, and then we'll have to cross and come down to where we do the sulfuric. Quite possibly here with a short train, probably just a 242 even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, it'd fit perfectly in just that space, and it can supply the iron that these things need. And then we can pump out the sulfuric, maybe out to here. Have a sulfuric train which can then deliver out here, and it can just have lots of pumps to send it to where we have can't see of course, and you can't see there as well, but to where we have the processing units or pump, so a bit of pipe and pump action going on. But that's basically the plan for the sulfuric. One bit at a time. You can see when you do everything to scale just how long some of these things take. Of course, I would totally agree that this layout is not the most efficient for the build. Hopefully, because the trains will just be starting off and pretty much running straight to the end without needing to worry about other trains so much, we'll get quite a lot of UPS savings. That will be worth all of this careful kind of separate networks. I mean, it's not entirely separate. There's crossovers at various points that can't be avoided, but it certainly should be, well, it's an experiment, I guess. It's a build experiment, so we'll see how it goes. Right, finish off over here, thanks. And then we will next prioritize down here. Hopefully we will have, no. Oh no, we still have some of these guys left. It's not going to work unless I get real power to this first person though. So we have power up there. I guess what we can do is that, but that is not actually giving me power. Maybe I can, no, I don't really want to do it like that. Excuse me, sorry. So that gives us power. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Alright, you can go and you can go. That's better. Right. Bit of fuel loading there. And some substations. Like so. And this needs to obviously run the distance, and it's going to need to go this way as well, because there's supposed to be one of these units here as well, which there will be ultimately, but perhaps not just, well, no, that's not what I wanted at all. There we go. So it's a separated network. Now we need power coming to this. Bots shouldn't be able to get too lost if they're just following me backwards and forwards across here. So good on them. Big poles. Whoops. There we go. Now, these guys all need a single supply chest and a stack inserter. The reason I'm putting them at the top here, it only is really relevant for this one, it's just so that if I need to I can move this down. There we go. And we do actually need some bots, so let's get 50 logistic bots. Wait for these slackers to catch up. Come on, guys. We need some more bot speed, clearly. Let's just make sure that what we've built over here is complete. They're still waiting on fuel because they need the bots radio. Let these guys rejoin. We'll quickly grab the bots, and I'll probably call that as an episode, and we'll do sulfuric acid next episode. I may actually fully populate out the red and green trains as well, so that we're in good stead. This is still underpowered, so there's lots of things we need to be concerned with there, but it's okay. Yes, I need one more red circuits train here, I think. I can check that from the map view once we are underway. And yes, this is, I mean, I'm glad I've got the pathway because that helps by about 30%, but yeah, it's kind of slow getting around. I mean, ultimately, when everything has been built, I'll basically try and get rid of all the mods. That's the idea. But to get things built, I mean, I know some people just go straight into creative mode, work out the designs they want, slap them down. Some people go even one stage worse than that and slap down ore patches exactly where they want them as well. I think, well, I mean, everyone's entitled to do what they want in whatever way they find enjoyable. I like actually playing the game, which includes actually having to solve the puzzle of how you go about building the base. So we built all of this as a consequence of that, which we otherwise probably wouldn't have done. But there you go. We've got our, no, we've only got 26 bots. There you go, we've got our 50 now. Is that everything? No, we're still waiting on some stations. That doesn't really matter. There's no reason to be held up for stations. Back to iron. I think I saw the solar train head up. Maybe not. Still loading. Must have been just an iron train. Yeah. It takes a while because we're using so many of the green circuits up here that we're just not getting enough into this area to build that out very quickly. But when we have the satellite capabilities built out for our Hyperbase, we will have those additional I didn't get the rail stuff, never mind, I'll do that between episodes. Yeah, when we're building the satellite, there's the solar requirements for satellites, which we can redivert to building out our power infrastructure at the beginning. And yeah, hopefully that can accelerate the build out, because when we get a lot of this online, we will probably find that suddenly our power needs skyrocket. We're ahead of the curve at the moment, but that's partly because we're only able to build fairly slowly. For some reason, it's only because there's these boxes. You need to be 50. Say, just so that there's a bit of extra to get these guys fueled up. And this train over here, well, we're going to have to build out all of this eventually, so doing some of it now doesn't really hurt. I may even just get rid of some of these trees while we're here. Give the bot something else to do. This train has completely emptied, which is fantastic, so now we can set it up properly. Let's insert the fuel. Is it called refuel load? No. I may not have even labelled it correctly yet. Let's have a look at what this fuel stop. Simon and Josh and Connor. Yep, that probably isn't the name that we want for this one. We want this one to be the refuel. Actually, let's just call it rocket fuel. For now, load. Okay. So you need rocket fuel load. Until inventory full, and that needs to go up there. That one's fine. This one needs to have an activity 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And well, oh, there's a problem up here. That's the problem. Okay. And obviously there is a radar issue up here. We're losing half of this to the radar, so I'll need to sort out that as well. But the bit that we can see, all of these, we're able to fill these up pretty quickly from the looks of things. It's interesting, there is a, oh, these take from one side and bias, yeah, of course they do. So did that fire anything up? Not really. The plastic train is not being used at a rate required for that. But anyway guys, I think we've had enough for this episode, so thanks for joining me. Next episode, I guess aircraft mod and sulfuric acid. See you then, guys. Bye bye for now.